From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, May 5th. It is primary election day, and it is super soggy outside. I mean, this is really thick raincoat weather or have an umbrella. It is just going to be a shower throughout the day. Temps aren't going to be that great either. They're going to be mid-40s this morning and mid-50s today. So get a jacket, get a rain jacket, and get an umbrella.
Central Indiana. Wish TV is now live on YouTube TV and Hulu Live, offering more hours of local programming than any other station. Search for Wish TV or look for CW8 on both YouTube TV and Hulu Live to find us. Watch local news, sports, and lifestyle shows live from Wish TV. You can still catch Wish TV free over the air or stream it live on wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile apps. Wish TV, available in more places for the latest news, weather, and sports.
In your vote 2026, polls open this morning at 6 a.m. They're open until 6 this evening. You will need a photo ID to vote, like your driver's license, passport, or military ID. That's to cast your ballot here in Indiana. The ID must include your photo, expiration date, and it has to be issued by the state or the U.S. government. State law has banned the use of student IDs in elections. I know it's confusing. It went back and forth. That is where things landed now. Early voting ended yesterday at noon, and some counties reported massive early voting turnout. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist shows us the numbers.
Here in Marion County, nearly as many people voted early in this primary as in the 2022 and 2024 primaries put together. This is how the early voting line looked at the city-county building just minutes before the polls closed. Duane Pierce got in right before this rush.
You know, I'm on my lunch break. I just wanted to come and vote early. Because sometimes, you know, in my experience, it gets a little bit more hectic on voting day.
More like hectic early voting period this year. Nearly 20,000 people cast early ballots in Marion County. Compare that to nearly 12,000 during the 2024 primary and 11,000 in the 2022 primary.
I have argued and argued and argued and fought and clawed and tried to get individuals to know that their vote matters. And hopefully now they're starting to realize it.
Bell isn't the only election official reporting heavy turnout. Hamilton County beat its 2024 total as well. So did Hendricks County. It's worth noting 2024's primary had candidates for president, governor, and U.S. Senate. 2026 has none of those.
I mean, it's surprising to me, you know, for a midterm, usually the midterm primary, I think we had a little over 11% in 2022. So yeah, for the total turnout, and we've had 6% vote already in Hamilton County. So I think we're definitely going to beat the 2022 and maybe the 2024 primary if it continues.
Scheller credits numerous competitive down ballot races on each side, such as for county sheriff. Voters tell me this was as much about duty as convenience.
I feel like if you really want to see society improve in the future, you really need to cast a vote for what you believe in. And, you know, and also just so my kids can have a better future.
Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time on Tuesday. If you're still in line when the polls close at 6 p.m., you will be allowed to cast a ballot. In Indianapolis, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
We have made it easy for you to check on your voter registration ahead of today's primary. Just go to wishtv.com, go to the As Seen On section of our website there, and find our voter guide. It includes links to check your registration, polling locations, and a guide on how to use them. The Indianapolis City County Council has voted to extend curfews for teenagers. The move is a temporary adjustment for the next 4 months. Under the new rules, people under 15 years old must be home between 9 at night and 5 in the morning every day. If you are 15 and 16 years old, you cannot be out past 9 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday and past 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. And you have to stay home until 5 in the morning every day. The curfew for 17-year-olds is not changing from the state law. That requires teenagers to be home by 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and by 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday.
This is not about punishment, and certainly more about partnerships and prevention. And it's just one tool that we have available to us to try to keep kids safe.
I'm disappointed when we talk about major decisions that our city leaders make but they're not inviting the demographic that are directly impacted, that is unacceptable.
Mayor Joe Hogsett has 10 days to sign the measure to make it official. Once he signs off on it, the curfew will start and last for 120 days. The City County Council has also heard a special non-binding resolution asking for a pause on new data centers getting approved. Councilor Jesse Brown wants development of data centers to stop for up to a year or until new regulations are in place. Officials say 4 data center projects were proposed over the past year and 2 have already been approved. Supporters say the pause is needed to address concerns over health, the environment, and utility costs. Critics of the pause point to potential economic benefits of building data centers. The National Rifle Association's annual convention is coming back to Indianapolis. Governor Mike Braun announced the NRA's return yesterday. Visit Indy says the city will host the 2029 and 2031 conventions at the Indiana Convention Center. The last time it was held here was in 2023. The governor says the convention would likely bring in more than 600 exhibitors, around 70,000 people, and generate about $26.4 million in revenue.
An ability to host events of this scale and our growing infrastructure, we know Hoosier hospitality is a key reason the NRA continues to choose Indianapolis.
The NRA convention includes banquets and receptions. There will be no direct sales of firearms or ammunition at the convention. INDOT vowed that construction work on the North Split would put the brakes on the rates of crashes and deadly wrecks. I-Team's Kara Kenny looks at the numbers.
More than 200,000 drivers come through the North Split every day. That's where I-65 and I-70 meet in downtown Indianapolis, making it the 6th most heavily traveled interchange in the entire state.
Getting on the ramps, there was a car that rear-ended me.
Xavier Amontio says navigating the North Split in Indianapolis is a headache.
You get traffic jams, bumper to bumper. There's times where you're stuck for 15, 20 minutes.
INDOT's North Split reconstruction project was supposed to address congestion and backups. Work took 2 years from 2021 to 23. It cost more than $300 million, causing traffic headaches and detours along the way. At the time, INDOT vowed the project would reduce crashes.
This is an interchange that produced over 300 crashes every year. Almost one a day.
Fast forward to 2026. I-Team asked INDOT whether they've studied the impact of the North Split project. INDOT says they did a preliminary study and found in 4 hotspot areas for crashes have decreased 29%.
That's huge. In terms of safety for drivers that are out there.
The hotspots, like near Pennsylvania and Delaware, were known for weaving, resulting in rear end and sideswipe crashes. What do you say to people that say the traffic still seems really bad, even years after the North Split construction?
Always something to work on. But there are other parts of 65 and 70 that we know need improvements, whether it's an interchange, a ramp, that are adjacent to the North Split, and those can have impacts to how traffic enters and exits.
Drivers are getting a little deja vu, with INDOT currently working on I-65 just south of the North Split.
Once that project wraps up, we'll be able to get out there and take a look at how traffic is really flowing post-construction.
Drivers like Xavier say the projects are making the roads safer, including the North Split project.
I want to say it got 25% better.
INDOT says it will continue to study the North Split in the years to come, including looking at traffic counts. Kara Kenny, I-Team.
The shock wave of the abrupt collapse of Spirit Airlines is ripping through the travel industry for both passengers and employees. Reed Binion reports.
In the middle of the ocean and found out that all our flights were canceled.
Thousands of air travelers stranded in recent days after the sudden collapse of Spirit Airlines over the weekend.
Our luggage was prioritized to go to Spirit. Spirit doesn't know where it is. The cruise line doesn't know where it is.
The discount carrier abruptly shut down operations and canceled all flights on Saturday. It is the first major U.S. airline in a quarter century to go out of business due to financial problems. In the wake of Spirit's shutdown, some other airlines have offered capped ticket prices or rescue fares, most around $200, to help stranded Spirit passengers rebook flights. Spirit's employees are also getting hit hard by the airline shutdown.
The hardest part is what are the flight attendants going to do and the other employees, because there's just not enough work for everybody here.
On Monday, former Spirit employees came together in solidarity at a gathering in front of the company's now defunct headquarters in Florida.
It's bittersweet It's a lot of memories. We had good days, we had bad days, like any other job. But it was that job that I loved. There was no job that compared.
I'm Reed Binion for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
U.S. Central Command says the 2 U.S.-flagged merchant vessels have safely crossed the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military says it destroyed 6 Iranian small boats in the strait following Iranian attacks on naval and commercial ships under the military's protection. The U.S. Navy says it is working in support of President Trump's latest effort to reopen the strait. It's called the Project Freedom. The Navy says it has cleared a passage through the strait that is free of Iranian mines. Iranian state media denied the reports and said no commercial ships passed through the strait. Experts warn that if the strait does not reopen, gas prices could hit $5 a gallon. AAA says the current price for a gallon of gas nationwide is $4.45. In Indiana, it's $4.81 per gallon. In Indianapolis, a gallon of gas is $4.85, and a gallon of diesel costs $6.02. Sports now on Saturday. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever will tip off the regular season at Gainbridge Fieldhouse against the Dallas Wings. Leading the way is head coach Stephanie White. Our Angela Morian tells us why the team has so much respect for her.
Ask any of the Indiana Fever players about their head coach. Something different stands out to each of them.
She's a player's coach. Oh, she's funny. She knows what it takes to win in this league.
She's the engine of this train.
Stephanie White did the unthinkable last year, leading a Fever team decimated with injuries to just 1 win shy from the WNBA Finals. Even in the pits of adversity, she didn't shy away from the challenge.
I mean, it's really hard coaching a new group of girls basically every other week. So I think for her, we were just really lucky that she came in every single day with a plan. She just spoke life into us. We all had confidence because of what she believed in us.
We know that we got to feel the things that we're feeling in the moment, but then we got to turn the page and problem solve. You know, we can't let circumstances dictate how we show up every day. I think all those things, coming together in life and in basketball really help this team, I think, understand, how important it is to be connected.
Between her time with the Connecticut Sun and last year's miraculous Fever run, White's teams have made it to the WNBA semifinals the last 3 years. While that success is great, she's now more determined than ever to get this year's squad to the finals.
Very hungry, but certainly, we know, and I know I've been in this league long enough to know that it doesn't happen now, that we've got to take it one day at a time. I think I'm competitive, I'm fiery, I think I'm flexible, more so than I was as a young head coach. But look, I want to compete, I want to win, I want to put our team in position to win.
Just to be the great woman and role model she was and is for us on a daily basis. She wants greatness for us, but also she just cares for us as human beings. And so when you have a coach who really pours into your personal life and truly loves you for you, I just think that speaks volumes, especially at this level. We know what Steph brings to the table, and we just want to make her proud and respect her because that's what she gives us every day.
And maybe give her another championship. Angela Morian, Wish TV and WishTV.com.
It's exciting times for the Indiana Fever, but regular season tips off Saturday, 1 o'clock on our sister station, WRTV. Make sure to tune in before to catch All Access Indy season opener, where our sports team breaks down all of the stories and headlines for this year's Fever season. Okay, switching gears to health now. New data shows that cancer death rates have dropped sharply since 1991, saving nearly 5 million lives. News 8's Gina Galeros takes a look at what's behind the progress in today's Health Spotlight.
At 68, Jerome Strachey is doing what he's done since he was 5, sketching, creating, carving.
I've loved to just carve wood.
Art has always been part of him. What he didn't expect was cancer becoming part of his story, too. Last year, a routine blood test revealed multiple myeloma, a type of blood cancer.
If I wasn't diagnosed, I wouldn't know I was sick.
His experience reflects a bigger shift in cancer care. According to the American Cancer Society, the U.S. cancer death rate has dropped 34% since 1991. UNC oncologist Haley Simpson believes it's just the beginning.
The prognosis, or what you can expect going forward as far as how long you'll live and the quality of that time you have, has just improved dramatically.
For both men and women, early detection, targeted drugs, immunotherapy, and precision medicine tailored to each person's cancer are driving the decrease in death rates.
Especially immunotherapy has been a game changer. Ways of engineering our immune system directly to fight the cancers.
Jerome began immunotherapy and a daily oral drug called lenalidomide. 10 months later, his numbers were quantifiable, a sign of remission. He says one thing his doctor said made all the difference.
He said, "You're not sick." He said, "You just have cancer." And that made a big difference for me.
I'm letting them know I'm expecting you to live for decades to come with this disease.
I'm Gina Galeros for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.